genre.
Okay.
The podcast is built on is hip hop.
Okay.
Man, oh man, Nas is on an impeccable run.
Right.
My God.
Right.
So coming into this podcast that we were supposed to do before, like literally right after the album drop, Nas dropped his 5th album in 3 years, Magic 2, all produced by Hitboy. Let's just go through it for a little bit, for a few minutes, man.
Hitboy's a monster.
Like, my initial thoughts was,
No.
I like want to encapsulate it, like, what's going to be new. And listening to the whole album from top to bottom, it was a themed album. He called it Magic. He had tracks on there like Abracadabra and so forth. So I liked how they themed it. He had a track on there called Magic Johnson, you know, just to keep going with the theme. The beat to Abracadabra sounded like a magic show. If you ever been to a circus, it sounded like a themed circus, you know. So overall, I'll be honest, overall, if I had to order his 5 albums in 3 years, I wouldn't say it's his strongest, but it wasn't his, compared to what's out, it wasn't the bottom.
Right.
You know, it was a great piece of artwork. And I didn't want to put out a review earlier because I wanted to digest the album, wanted to digest the artwork. Like, we live in an era of music where everything's like microwave. Oh, album came out tomorrow. Oh, what's next?
Yep.
You know, so it's great. And I think it charted too, because there was a talk that there was no albums charting, you know, which is sad for hip hop, because it's like, what type of artwork are y'all putting out where it's now becoming irrelevant?
Yeah.
Before I get my takes on songs I liked and so forth, what is your overall opinion on listening to the album so far?
It's dope so far. I mean, the songs that I have listened to, like Earvin, Magic Johnson, The Office Hours with 50, because they're playing that, at least on satellite they are. Bokeem Woodbine.
Shout out to Bokeem Woodbine, like, real quick, not to interject.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, when I saw that title, I was like, where's Nas going with this? But he was spitting some hot fire.
Yes.
But just real quick, if you don't know, if you're in our culture, this brother is such an underrated actor.
Oh, yeah.
People don't understand how many movies Bokeem Woodbine played in. Like, he's in pictures with Tupac when Tupac was alive.
Yeah.
You know, he's in Jason Lyric. You don't see, I'm giving away my age. You know, I'm in my 30s, like I said, but such classic moments of art in our culture that brother's in. But shout out to Bokeem Woodbine. Go ahead.
No. I just from those tracks alone, I mean, it's just dope, man. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is, and let me put this here as a jewel for you young cats, like, especially with him, I think I'm not gonna speak, but by the time this come out, we've already been there. But 50 Cent, you know, he's on tour, and I'm going to one of his shows.
Oh,
you know,
which one you going to? You ain't tell me.
It's out in Hartford. It's going.
Okay, that's not too far away.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to figure out. 50 Cent dropped that album 20 years ago. So the point I'm making is, like, him, like, to put it all together, like with Nas, like, they're making music that people are still bumping and listening to.
Timeless.
Right. Y'all not making music.
Let me go here with this. So there's reports that Moneybagg Yo and a few other artists, you know, basically from the younger generation, it's no disrespect to them. They're starting to find out that these artists are canceling tour dates because they're not selling tickets.
Yeah.
Now, going to your point with 50, there's a viral clip of him, Busta Rhymes, and a few others around. He's like, yo, I'm so proud of 50. You know, 50 the first week sold 800,000 tickets off an album that came out 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Remember, people not bumping his new music. He's not really dropping new music.
Yeah.
But he's on tour selling tickets from 20 years ago.
Yep.
Y'all cats are canceling tour dates because y'all not. See, this is what we said. Something was going to have to give, and we're seeing it now.
Yeah.
Y'all can't fill arenas because who's listening? What type of artwork are y'all putting out that sustains? See, the last person from this younger generation, to me, that's putting together bodies of work, and it's no disrespect. That's why people are holding up J. Cole and the Kendrick Lamars, because when they drop albums, it's sounding like a complete piece of artwork, like a Nas. You know. But go ahead.
No, it's just Nas's album is tough, man, and it's, you know, with Hitboy, and that's a chemistry that I hope never stops. You know,
Like, how rare is it that, because remember, hip hop is 50 years old. Shout out to hip hop, man.
Yeah.
I love this culture, man. I got to get I got a couple tats I want to get for hip hop culture, but
right?
Nas is 49 years old. He's not even 50 yet.
Wow.
When in music, no matter what genre, has we seen somebody's second body of work in their second half of career either equivalent or better than their first body of work?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, we know Nas's run in hip hop, his first couple albums, the songs that came out off of it and how it felt to the culture. Now we're hearing Magic 1, King Disease 1, King Disease 2, King Disease 3, and now Magic 2 Insane.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, man.
Like, yo, I could bump Wave Gods because Wave Gods, yo, he talking slick on Wave Gods.
Yeah.
He giving me
That's
that do-rag energy.
Yeah.
You know, like he talking heavy on a couple of them.
Yeah.
Now the bars were a little bit down on this one, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's just be honest. It's a great album, but the bars are a little bit down, and Nas can do that, but he still was talking heavy on this, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. No, it's just it just amazes me how him, Buster's
so underrated.
50, somebody else I'm missing here. There's a few of them missing, but even now they're still making great music. Like it's not irrelevant. They're still making great music. You know what I'm saying? Better than the stuff that's coming out. So you know, some of the stuff, man, these cats is coming in weirdos. Did you see? I haven't watched it yet, but I saw a clip where Ed Lover was talking about that. He was saying the Math Office podcast. He's like, "Yo, the music is horrible. It's horrible.
Why they're canceling tour dates."
Yeah, like what is this? I'm not going to see that. Are you crazy? Go look at. You know what? Boot Camp Click. I think their album just reached 25 years or something like that. 20 years because they came out around the same time as Nas.
Album. Hold up, I got it on my title playlist. Let me pull it up.
Black Moon and all them, like Black Moon's album. So you can go back and listen to that, and it's still up to date. You get what I'm saying? So you know, they still make music. You know what I mean? Like I'll go listen to Boot Camp Click. I can't listen to this stuff now. This is horrible.
What's in my recently played?
Magnum Force by Helter Skelter and Nocturnal, which is both.
So I ain't capping, right? That's really in my. That's really
in there.
That's really in my title recently playlist. Shout out to Boot Camp Click.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Sean Price.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Rock.
Yeah.
He got a good podcast too. I forgot the name of it.
Rock dude?
Yeah, Rock Nation. I'll bring it up and probably add it to the clip. But shout out to Rock from Helter Skelter. He has he does his own little YouTube series, but he's still doing shows. He's still active. Shout out to the Boot Camp Clip, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's just the point I'm making is like when you hear Nas's album, it's like, you know, even when he's, you know, God forget, when he's no longer on this earth, that's still gonna be relevant and still gonna be hot music. It's just that music is outshining the trash that's coming out now,
and it's gonna be hot because he's in a pocket right now.
Yeah. So
a bar that he gave on Abracadabra, he was like, by the time they hear this, I'm already halfway done with the next album. Did anybody catch that? He said, when y'all listening to this album, me and Hitboy already halfway done with the next one.
Yeah.
I calculated the time it took for him to drop this from the last one, and I think it was like nine months. It wasn't even a full year. So we can expect probably by spring 2024 that, I don't know if it's going to be part 3 of Blue Magic. I don't know if it's going to be King Disease or even a new installment. You know, but the bars he was dropping, him talking about how he's feeling hate ever since he started making hits with Hitboy. Like,
really?
He can feel it. He was talking about that on Abracadabra. We got to get into them bars. He was saying, ever since I started creating with Hit, I start feeling the hate. Because that was the knock on Nas, like his production.
Yeah, and sometimes it was crazy.
Yeah.
Go listen to Nostradamus. That'll tell you reason why.
Yeah.
Like, because he thinks he can.
His rhyming skills can overpower the beat.
Yeah,
but now you had to pit. So now he's like, I got the cheat code because now my production is out the bars.
Right.
You know, so
yeah.
My God, what are y'all gonna do if Nas can drop another 5 albums in 3 years and still keep going?
Jay don't even do that.
We need Jay to drop an album.
Yeah, he's too busy running Rock Nation and trying to be the boss.
So real quick, we talked about Nas' album. What is your overall take? If you had to give it a scale on a mic system from your era, how many mics would you give it?
9. 9.5.
Nah, remember, 5 mics.
Oh, on the 5 mic thing. Oh, I thought you meant 1 to 10. I'm sorry. I got caught off guard. 4.5 mics.
All right, I got it at a solid 4. So we're around four mics.
Yeah.
You know.
From what I heard, it's 4.5 mics. I mean, that's, and you gotta remember, I came, like, when I was in hip hop, because you asked me last time, and I when I gave that answer, that means when I was into it. But you know,
trust me, I remember.
I've been around like special ed days and all, Chubb Rock, all that. But anyway,
Didn't it?
yeah. That's like definitely an era I grew up in. But when Nas came out, you gotta remember, like, with the album, because they keep making that first album. That first album wasn't. I mean, it's classic because of some of his hits and his rhymes, but the beats were not.
Yeah,
nah.
I give it to you, but it's just like, dog, when he's rhyming like that and he's saying he started writing some of that stuff at 19.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the mindset you got to be that ill of an artist at 19. The only other person that was writing like that early that we know of was Rakim. They said Rakim was writing like that at 17, 18, and 19. So I think that's why that album gets a lot of accolades.
Yeah. No, it was a banging album.
Yeah.
But when they're like, yo, it's 5 mics, I'm like, oh, I don't know, there's about 1 or 2 joints on. I was like, no. This ain't working, Nas. I'm running through this, but it ain't hitting me. You know what I'm saying?
I got another question. So we might touch on this before we go to sports or another hip hop topic. There's been some talk about lists, and he even talked about that, like, yo, if I'm not on your list, then I don't even know what we listening to.
Right.
Where has Nas cemented himself on a list? And it doesn't even have to be top 5. It could be top 10 or top 20. Where has Nas cemented himself? He's 49 years old. He just been on a 5-album run in 3 years. And you got to remember, I'm comparing even when Big Daddy Kane was still rhyming for his age and so forth. What Nas is doing, and he's telling us he has more albums coming soon. Where has Nas cemented himself on any list?
Oh, he's easily top 5. Easily. And I'm talking about, because a lot of people put Eminem up there. He can't touch Nas. Can't touch Nas. Go listen to M's wordplay and Nas's wordplay. And you can't touch Nas. Jay is ill. It's just, now at this point, I mean, when you put Nas and Jay at their peak, I don't know, but you can go either. You can't lose either way. But now when you're looking with Nas, you're looking at Jay like, yo, man, you still got it. Because
and I don't doubt that he.
If Nas is doing this,
it.
You ain't got no excuses.
And I don't know. Yeah, the business connections he has, he can call any producer he wants. But it's kind of feeling like Jay's fading to black. Like, all right, I gave y'all enough. I might pop up on a guest verse, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's
fine.
my feeling, and I have no qualms with that with Jay. But as hip hop is aging, and Nas and Busta Rhymes are still putting out albums, you got to show us something too, Jay.
Yeah,
you got to give us something before you turn 55 years old.
Yeah,
don't wait too late, and then it's. People's like, he's like 58 years old.
Man.
Like, you waited an extra 5 years.
Facts.
Like, okay,
facts.
whatever.
Yeah.
For me, I want to say he might have cemented himself at 5 because there's other people you got to include up in there. Like Rakim, you know, and there's other cats. But, yeah. If he keeps giving us this artwork the way he's giving it to us, he's changed the game, because we haven't saw this type of run from artists at this age. I don't want to keep harping at ages, but remember when cats used to say, "Oh, you still rhyming at 40? Who wants to do that?"
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay,
yeah,
we got the better rhymers at 40 now.
Facts. Facts. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Can I respond to that?
Yeah.
That's the ignorance and stupidity coming from, not from our culture. It's from another culture that try to put that on our culture, like, yo, you don't want to be doing this at 40. Yeah, okay. This isn't football, dog. And when you look at every other genre of music, they go way past 40. It's only us that think that stupid whatever that like, yo, you can't do it past 40. Nah, yes you can. Yes you can. I'd rather listen to that than I think what is that kid's name? Oh, because he looks like a weirdo now. I don't care who feels any way about it. Oh my God, he has like all the pierced ringings and his hair is all wild. I think he's from Philly.
Oh, Little Uzi Vert?
Yeah, he a weirdo, man.
I ain't gonna lie though, I like that song though.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I can't do the hip lock. I know y'all young bulls be going at it. I can't. I'm too stiff, but
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. That I want a rock song. Is
he ain't gonna go on no tour with that. What tour he gonna go on with that?
I just want to rap.
Right.
Wait, I be driving my son to school.
Wait. Have you
my
seen?
son be going off.
Let me say this. The one thing, and I'm not gonna get into a whole spill because they'll say you sound like an old head. When I see this dude with his pointed up hair, I can't relate to it. I just can't. Image is a part of it, and you don't look nothing like what, like you know, the kids I see on the block. They ain't rocking like that, man. Now I ain't gonna touch no other things because I think you know they'll think it's going to that, and I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying that from a perspective. I'm looking at this weirdo like, yo, what you doing? I can't relate to you. I don't want to hear a whole album of him. If somebody gave me a ticket, I give it back to him. I'd be like, you know, I ain't going to that. You know what I'm saying? You know, so and people say, you know, I just want to put this point out here because I don't want to sidetrack. They keep saying it's because of age that you don't get what these younger dudes are doing. Let me tell you something. Rakim, Special Ed, Chubb Rock, EPMD, LL Cool J, and all of them came out in the same era. The next era was Redman, Das EFX,
Preach,
Tupac, Biggie, Boot Camp Click, Wu-Tang Clan. That was a whole next era. Do you think...
Hold up, not to sidetrack. Mm-hmm. How old were they when they were dropping these classic albums from each era that you just named? How old was LL? No.
Oh, LL was like a teenager.
17, 18,
he was a teenager,
19.
Yeah, EPMD was teenagers.
17, 18, 19.
Right.
So when you throw in well, they're this young and you don't get it. Well, I have 3 different generations of artists that you just named. How old was the Wu-Tang Clan when they was dropping Cream?
Yeah.
Some of those cats were barely 20 years old.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So then when you leave that era, you go now to next. I think DMX, Ja Rule.
They were a little older.
Okay.
They were mid-20s.
I get it, but do you think that Rakim heard DMX and Ja Rule and was like, oh my God, hip hop's over?
No.
Let me even go here. Then if you go on the West Coast, I think it was Snoop, the Dog Pound, Easy, all of them. So I don't think Eazy-E, even though he had beef with him, I think when he saw the Dog Pound and Snoop, I don't think he looked like, oh my God, we're in trouble. Mm-hmm. Then there was Ludacris, there was 3 6 Mafia, there was Trina, there was Trick Daddy,
Outkast.
There was Outkast. Oh, yeah, right. So hear what I'm saying. Then Rick Ross and them came. Do you think that LL looked at Rick Ross and was like, my God, we're in trouble? I don't think so. Do you think that LL looked at Ludacris and said, oh my God, we're in trouble? Do you think that Eric Sermon looked at Outkast and was like, oh my God, we're in trouble? I don't think that. So when I'm hearing people say it's because of an age thing, no, they suck.
The quality of music.
Y'all
don't know how to put on shows because when y'all
Right.
go to shows, some of y'all just be lip singing and letting the crowd laugh. Like
Horrible.
the first time I saw that, and it's no disrespect because I respect this brother and I actually listen to his music. Like I caught this like 2016. I'm looking at the show and I'm like, is he lip singing?
Yeah.
It was Kevin Gates.
Really?
And I listen to Kevin Gates' music, but his shows, and he's not the only one. There's pretty much 90% of the rappers. They don't just upload the beat track. They have the vocals and they're barely rapping over the vocals. And I'm like, y'all getting paid $50,000 a show to do that?
Meanwhile, the Lox is over there on Versus. And they
play the beat and they're rapping the words.
Rapping to words to it.
Pitting on the show. They can tell the DJ to stop here because there's no pre-recorded.
I love when
there's no pre-recorded track.
Yeah.
I don't get that as a show. As a fan of hip hop, I don't get how you're pitting on the show, making 80, 100,000, and your whole show is a pre-recorded lip sync. Horrible. You could have sat in a car and did that.
Horrible.
I could listen to that from the car. This is why when these artists are pulling back their shows, guess what? Good, because now y'all getting hit in the pockets.
Yep.
Put together some greater artwork and put together a better show.
Right.
because there's no reason why 50 in his mid-40s is selling out concerts.
That's a damn shame.
From an album that came out 20 years ago because he can still perform.
Right. Right. They're making horrible music. Oh my God.
It's streaming, but can you perform it?
Horrible music.
So I want to get on another topic.